Hi, I'm Rose from Cheap Lazy Vegan, and on this episode of Eat Kindly with me, we'll be making a healthy meal prep on a budget. So today, guys, we'll be making a really healthy meal prep. I'm gonna walk you through the steps, and this whole meal prep is gonna cost around or less than $20 US. So yeah, if you guys are ready for a budget-friendly meal prep, then we'll just get started. All right, guys, so the first step is going to be making rice. So rice is something I eat often. So of course I have a rice cooker, yes. The rice cooker is going to help us just make the rice while we do everything else. All you have to do is put the rice in and it just does the work. We're gonna put it in the rice cooker and we can forget about it while we do everything else. All right, guys, so the rice cooker is doing its magic, as you can probably hear. While that's going, we're actually gonna start the chili. So first thing, I'm just gonna chop up the veggie. That's probably gonna be the most time-consuming part of this whole process. So we are making chili. Chili is fantastic. You can use very inexpensive ingredients. We have a giant pot in front of us, okay? So we're gonna add some oil. I'm just gonna do 1 tablespoon of oil. And if you want to keep it oil-free, you can do that as well. And just cook your veggies with a little bit of water or vegetable broth. So we have about half an onion. I like to cook that for a little bit, maybe a minute or so. Now we're gonna add a tablespoon of minced garlic. We're gonna cook that for another minute or so. And now we can add in the vegetables. Honestly, you can just pick whatever veggies you wanna use, whatever you wanna throw in there, feel free. But I decided to use 1 bell pepper and 2 medium carrots that I diced up. And I also have some frozen mixed vegetables that we can add into the chili as well. This is just a very convenient way of adding in vegetables in your diet. Frozen mixed vegetables are actually quite cheap as well. So if you just keep it in your freezer, it's an easy way to get in some vegetables. So we're gonna throw in a cup of frozen mixed vegetables. Look at those colors. Next, you wanna add in basically everything else. This is very easy. Throw everything into the pot. That's all you need to know, okay? So we have 1 can of black beans, 1 can of kidney beans, and once again, you can use whatever beans you want to use. So we're just gonna throw that in there. And we also have here 1 large can of diced tomatoes and 1 large can of tomato sauce. And now we're quiet again. So I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. Spice-wise, we're gonna need some chili powder. Now, my friends, I'm kind of running low on the chili powder, but it's okay. We're gonna make it happen. We got 1 tablespoon of chili powder, but we have a little trick here. I have a Korean ingredient, my friends. This is Korean chili flakes. It's not the same thing as chili powder, but it's a Korean version of chili powder, and I think it's gonna be fantastic. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of this one too. So we got 1 tablespoon of regular chili powder, 1 tablespoon of Korean chili powder. If you just want regular chili powder, use 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of paprika, half a tablespoon of garlic powder, and we'll do half a tablespoon of cumin. And feel free to play around with these spices. You can add more of whatever if you'd like. So that is the spices. The next ingredient, this is the secret, guys, to making everything taste good when you don't know what you're doing, is a veggie bouillon cube. Okay, so this is basically like the veggie broth in a cube. So you can just throw this into your chilies or your soups, whatever you want, and it'll add a ton of flavor and you don't have to do too much. So I'm just gonna add 1 cube of this, and that's gonna add some saltiness as well. It's very salty actually, so don't add too much at once. So we're just gonna give this a good mix. All right, guys, so now that we have all the ingredients in the chili, we're just gonna actually let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a nice boil, you're gonna turn it down into a simmer and let it cook for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. So I just check up on it every once in a while just to make sure that it's all looking good. While the chili is cooking, the next step is to roast some vegetables. We're also gonna roast some chickpeas. We're just gonna throw a bunch of things in the oven. So first, this is gonna be, again, the most time-consuming step is peeling and chopping the vegetables. So we have here 1 very large sweet potato. We also have a kind of large to medium-sized potato, and we also have a large carrot, bell pepper, and we have some broccoli. So let's chop the vegetables. Is this a vegetable? So I like to just chop into chunks. It doesn't have to be beautiful, just nice bite-sized chunks. So we have the potatoes, sweet potatoes, and the vegetables chopped. So I'm just using some avocado oil. You can use olive oil or whatever oil of your choice. So I think we can do like 1 tablespoon per pan. So let's just see how that looks. You really don't need a lot of oil, guys. Massage this in a little bit. If you feel like you need more, feel free to add more oil. So right now we have the oven preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. To season, I'm starting with half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna sprinkle it. So I try not to add too much so that it's not overly salty. Massage it in, make sure it's evenly coated. And then the second thing I'm gonna use is some Italian seasoning. So we're just gonna sprinkle nicely. We're gonna use half a tablespoon here on the potatoes and then half a tablespoon as well on the vegetables. And then we're just gonna add some pepper to taste. Oh, you know what I also am gonna add? Garlic powder, guys. This is heaven. I like to add garlic powder to everything. I would say about half a teaspoon on each pan. We're actually gonna also make the roasted chickpeas, so we can all throw everything in at the same time into the oven, and that'll make our lives a bit easier in terms of keeping track of the time. So we have here a can, just a regular can of chickpeas. So we're just gonna throw it into a different baking pan. And then it's really easy to roast chickpeas. Once again, we're gonna throw in 1 tablespoon of oil. Ooh, I might wanna get the lid. 1 tablespoon of oil. You can use olive oil, avocado oil. And again, we're just gonna massage it. And some people like to take off the skin. So if you want, you can just like pick at it. Let's just pick some of it off. So chickpeas are really great. They are cheap. They are a great source of protein. I think they taste really good and they're very versatile as well. We're gonna do half a teaspoon garlic powder. And I also really like to add some paprika. You can use smoked paprika if you want. I'm just using regular paprika. We're gonna use half a teaspoon of that as well. And then let's do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and just a nice sprinkling of pepper. And then we're just gonna mix this well. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we could use some more paprika. We're gonna do a full teaspoon of paprika. And now we are ready to put everything into the oven. So once again, the oven is preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna throw these in. I'm gonna put a timer on for 20 minutes. And then we're gonna flip everything, see how it looks, and probably do another 20 minutes. So the next step now is making scrambled tofu. This is a fantastic breakfast option. It's very high in protein. It's very versatile in terms of how you can enjoy it. So we're gonna start with some oil. Once again, we're just gonna use a tablespoon. So we're gonna heat this oil up on a large pan or a wok. I'm gonna use some garlic because garlic is delicious. So we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Whoop. And you know what, let's just throw everything in. So we have 1 cup of the mixed vegetables that we used earlier, frozen mixed vegetables. Another great thing to add into your scrambled tofu because it's easy. You don't need to chop anything. Next, we have half a bell pepper. So let's throw that in. And let's just cook that for a minute or so. And now we have a block of extra firm tofu. So what I just do is I just crumble it up with my hands. Like so. So just use your hands and your fingers to just break apart the tofu like this. So let's just give this a nice stir. So once we have everything in, what I actually like to do is I do like to kind of cook up the tofu a little bit, allow it to cook a bit, and then we can add in the spices. So now let's add in some of our spices. So for scrambled tofu, I do like to use quite a few spices. If you don't have some of these, it's okay. So the first thing I'm gonna use, nutritional yeast. If you don't know what nutritional yeast is, get to know nutritional yeast because it's awesome. We're gonna start with 2 tablespoons. Now this is gonna give it a nice flavor. It's also gonna give, as you can see, a beautiful yellow color. This is actually used quite often in like cheesy recipes to give it a nice cheesy taste, but it can also work very well with scrambled tofu. So we're gonna add that. Next, let's do half a tablespoon of garlic powder, half a tablespoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of turmeric. Again, this will give it a nice yellow color as well. Let's do half a teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's a lot of spices, but trust me, it'll taste good, okay? So you wanna add a lot of spices to the tofu because tofu will suck up all of the delicious flavor. If you wanna add more, feel free. Trust me, the more, the better in this scenario, okay? So let's just mix that well. Yeah, you know what? I actually wanna add in another tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Let's do it. I feel like you can never have too much nutritional yeast. It's just like not possible. Ooh, see that color? Beautiful. All right, so now it's pretty much done. You know, it's simple. it's easy. That's how easy it is to make scrambled tofu. Now we are on to basically the last step, which is preparing the sauces. So for sauces, you can use store-bought sauces if you want, tons of sauces, vegan friendly, but I'm gonna show you how to make a really quick and easy and simple peanut butter sauce, okay? It's only 5 ingredients, very easy, so let's get started. So first, we're gonna use, of course, so don't drop your peanut butter. So first, we're gonna use some peanut butter. So let's do a 1/3 cup of peanut butter. Of course, you can use almond butter if you want. Next step, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You can use agave nectar. I'm just using maple syrup. Next, we're using 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now you can use fresh lemon juice or you can use store-bought, which is what I'm using. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And last, but definitely not least, of course, garlic powder. Did we expect anything else? We're doing 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder. And then you just wanna mix this well. It might take a little bit of patience, but you'll get there, I promise. All right, you guys, so I mixed everything well together, and at this point, it is, quite thick, so what I like to do is thin it out with a little bit of water. We're gonna start with 1 tablespoon, see how that looks, and then we go from there. So mix it in, and if you like the consistency of that, you can keep it like that. If you want it a bit thinner, you can do that as well. And throughout the week, it might thicken up more in the fridge, so you can always add in more water throughout the week if it becomes too thick. So yeah, this is great. And I think I like this consistency. So for the sauces, guys, we've got that peanut sauce that we quickly made, and I'm also gonna use some salsa. That's gonna be another option. There's lots of different options for sauces. If you get bored of, eating the same types of things every day, switch up the sauces and you'll be fine. So now I think we're ready to put everything together. As you can see here, we have a beautiful spread of all the things that we made. I tried to kind of assemble them into different types of meals to show you guys how to enjoy, because obviously we made a lot of different things, but you can mix and match the different things that we made to make different meals. That's the beauty of this, guys. So we have here some scrambled tofu, some of that scrambled tofu that we made with some salsa, and of course those roasted potatoes, which look beautiful. And another thing that I did with the scrambled tofu is I actually mixed it in with the rice. So you could throw some soy sauce in there if you want. You can fry it up on the pan or just simply mix it with rice or just eat it with rice. And we also have some vegetables on the side. And then here we've got a lovely thing of chili with some sweet potato and some roasted vegetables. And over here, this is the beautiful Buddha bowl that we made here. So we have the brown rice, we have the roasted chickpeas, the roasted sweet potato, the roasted vegetables, and then on top, I just threw on the beautiful peanut sauce that we made, and that's gonna be a really delicious Buddha bowl. And for the chili, you could also enjoy it as kind of like a sloppy joe style. So I just threw it on top of some English muffin. Of course, we have a little bit of nutritional yeast on top of the chili, and some of those roasted potatoes and sweet potatoes. And another meal you could have, we have some rice, we have the chili on top, roasted vegetables, and some of the roasted chickpeas. You could also enjoy the chili with some pasta. You could enjoy it with anything, to be honest with you. Chili is very versatile as well. And the roasted chickpeas, guys, they're really great snacks. And of course, you can throw it on top of whatever meal. You could throw it into whatever meal that you want. And another thing that you could have for breakfast as well is a breakfast taco. So I made a little taco here with the scrambled tofu, and I topped it with chili. And I also added a little bit of that salsa and also even some of those chickpeas. So again, mix and match however way you'd like. So this is a beautiful breakfast taco. You could also make a breakfast burrito with the scrambled tofu as well. There are so many different meals you can make with all the things that we made here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this healthy, budget-friendly meal prep. All of this costs you around $20, maybe even less. I hope you try meal prepping yourself. It's really fun, and now I have so much food for the rest of the week. I'm really excited to eat all of it, okay? So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and of course check out my channel, Cheap Lazy Vegan, for more easy, budget-friendly vegan recipes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!